If we look at the next condition after 19, we have 19, so 18, 19, 20. 20 is Su. Su is the enlightened person. They've gone through this experience, they found a way forward and up and out of this, and they actually made the effort to come up out of it, and now they have the time to reflect on this, or to think about this, we should say, to consider this. We can see down here at the bottom row, at 120, is Sapisu. Well, Sapisu is the descent. The descent from those who are up above, helping those who are below. And so this tells us something about 20, Su, the enlightened person. And recall that, okay, now the enlightened person, Su, is 20, which is the soul that comes out of wisdom. This does not necessarily mean spiritual enlightenment. It could just mean corporeal enlightenment. If he's just corporeally enlightened, in he can know mathematics and he can, predict certain things, and but he doesn't necessarily, or she doesn't necessarily, perceive the spiritual, the unseen aspect of life, and is not necessarily enlightened in that regard. And so the ideal, of course, would be to have that enlightenment as well. There will be some enlightenment there. There will be some growth because of the progression from 18, the unknown or unknowing, to the Segwan. Now the Segwan, the black doubt, the evil, and because the Segwan will say, well, you see, that's the way out. That ain't no way out. That's, and they'll try to destroy or whatever. And so the person starts thinking, well, gee, well, maybe it wasn't a way out. I thought I saw a way out, but maybe it isn't, and all that. And so that's the Segwan. Transcendent over the Segwan is that larger social order, that large and more greater, more encompassing milieu. And we can see that, and that's in the leaf of life with EOI above. Those who have become, or are becoming, or are closer to EOI than what we are, then they actually represent this larger, greater social order to those who are down in the throes of the Say and the Segwan. During the time of Zarathustra, for example, a man was taught some of these things, that you had the Segwan, which was the black doubt, but above black doubt were these higher enduring entities, these higher enduring realities, and that by tuning to these higher realities, one can move from where they are past, to get beyond the black doubt, to get beyond the say that encompasses humanity. And recall, this is the sabia that we as humanity will transcend. We need to transcend. And so when we get to 20, then this indicates some growth toward that transcendency, toward essentially the sustaining of the good that's within, the sustaining of the good that's within man, because 20 is the ninth pulse from man. The Su is the ninth pulse, and you can see that on the chart. So you have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The Su, the enlightened person, then has this responsibility of sustaining the good that's within humanity. And as we mentioned, it needn't be S-oriented society. It could be corporeally oriented or somewhere in between, some combination. But the enlightened person will, in some ways, attempt to improve the situation, and that's shown again down in that bottom line with Sapisu, the descent of someone higher coming to help those who are lower. Because man is not necessarily spiritually enlightened at that point, and he has the two, recall, number two, here's Sue over here, but number two over here, recall that was the second pulse from our second cycle from the foundation, and it had to do with opposites, and but it also has to do with living with the opposites, and it can have to do with reconciling those opposites, and it can be like a continuum between those opposites. And so in 20, you have the two, and you have the soul that comes out of that. And so where is that balance going to be, or where is that needle going to end pointing on the gauge? Where is man as far as his spiritual enlightenment and his corporeal enlightenment? But regardless of what man chooses, or where man chooses, because recall that man always has choice. Man is given choice. And that choice is indicated all the way back to Ieu, the fifth condition, which is the upward forever, the downward forever, the Ieu, the elevator, where we can choose where we want essentially our density, our the amount of light and darkness that we live in, or that we're going to labor within. Or it's adjusting to that if we allow the creation, Jehovah's creation, to decide for us, then we're set at a certain level anyway. So we're going to be at a level, whether we choose to or not, we'll be at some level, and then we go forward from there. We have the foundation, and we can rise in ascension, or we can go into declension. So that was with 20 and number 5, the choice. Because man has choice and he has chosen, and when number 20, whatever that he or she has labored and come forward with all his hopes and his beliefs and his trusts and his faith and his knowing and his unknowing and his doubts, and now he's learned some stuff. He's become enlightened to some extent. But whatever he made in all those choices, that's going to determine what's going to happen a great deal on his next pulse, which is going to be the Oki, number 21.